So, we got the final game of my block, and looks like we'll be doing Animaniacs on the Sega Genesis. So this is a Sonic Hero style kind of game, and I'll kind of describe it as we go here. So in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so first things first, we got our intro stage, and this is pretty much gonna introduce us to how the characters work. So we got Yakko. He ends up pushing and pulling blocks. He also has a paddle ball. Then we have Wacko, in which he can use his mallet to either destroy things or blow them up. And then we got Dot, in which he blows a kiss to the male counterparts. And yeah, that's pretty much it with that. So that's our intro stage. Now we're going to head into our first stage here, which is the Indiana Jones style stage. We're going to switch over to Dot here. We're going to blow a kiss to one of the God Pigeons. Or the Good Feathers. So this is a strictly 2D platformer game. And we have the ability to switch between characters at any moment. And it is a set pattern as well. Or not a set pattern rather, but more like a set switch. So it'll start off with Yakko, then goes to Wacko, and then Dot, and then back to Yakko again. There's no way to actually change characters, you know, from like Wacko to Yakko and so on and so forth. Alright, so now we are in the autoscroller section of the level. And there's like a few autoscrollers, and you kind of notice that I'm jumping a little bit here. That's because it creates a lot of lag when the crocodile charges, and there's like a bunch of sprites on screen. Oh, we get this giant elephant here. We're just gonna destroy it with our mallet. I'm gonna switch over to Yakko. We're gonna see Ralph the security guard, in which we will use the paddle ball to kind of throw him into the water there. Switch back to Wacko. Now we're gonna go all the way to where the switch is, because that's the switch we need to hit to open the door. But now we have to wait for these platforms to come down. It's gonna take a little bit of time here. We gotta wait for these platforms to come up, and then I'm gonna start jumping towards them right about now. Take an intentional hit. And you kind of see on the top left corner where our life counter is. That is our health meter as well. The way how the character looks, like right now, Wacko looks like he's, you know, like really sick or something. So we want to make him happy again, which is our full health. We have these health regenerating items. And now he kind of looks like, you know, he's okay, but, you know, kind of shaky a little bit. So we're just like, you know, 2 hits away from death. But yeah, we have it like really happy to just like kind of happy, then worried, and then dead. And then it's like 5 hits you can take. So now we're on this little bit of a train here. Really not much to do, because this is pretty much like your autoscroller section of the game. But once we get past this screen, that's where all the action happens. And for the time being, there aren't any glitches in this game, so it's pretty much a glitchless run. So we're gonna use that seesaw to get up here and stand on this rolling rock. Not the beer, but like the actual boulder. We're just gonna switch over to Yakko here. Also, if you try to switch to a different character on the screen transition, you'll kind of notice that the character, like their screen flickers a little bit. If it doesn't flicker when you do the screen transition, that means the change didn't actually take effect. You would have to kind of do that right before the screen transition in order to change over to the next character. Alright, so now we're going to head into our first boss fight here, and we're going to be seeing him quite a bit, which is Ralph the security guard. We're going to try to go for a stun lock here. And there's going to be debris falling from the ceiling as well. We got one more hit. There we go. And then we are going to collect our first artifact, which is the Indiana Jones hat. So as you see, we are in studios. And we had like these collectibles that we pretty much took from the studios, and you know, they stole it from us, so we're trying to steal it back. And now we see like our Mega Man style like stage select screen. So those like references to like Sonic Heroes, Mega Man with the stage select, and then we're gonna see a Wily stage later on. Alright, so we are in our Star Wars / Star Trek level. Switch the dot here, gonna blow a kiss to Sully the God Pigeon and jump and land on the plane. That's cool. So yeah, whenever you die, and if you're like deep into the level, it'll send you back to the beginning of whatever screen you were previously in. Since we were still on this screen, it took us back to the beginning of it, but if we end up going to the next screen per se... Why didn't it hit? Okay. The game is like, okay, we know what you're doing here. We're just gonna have you die a couple times. Try to like explain everything again. Like... Alright, let's play this a little safe here. And this level can be kind of dumb too. There we go. Now we're on this really slow rising platform. And we got laser shooting from the ceiling as well, and they're all random. There's really not much we can do to manipulate that or anything. Gotta watch out from not getting hit so much. Alright, here we go. Gonna go right through this door here. Switch back to Yakko for a little bit. Normally, if you were doing like PB attempts or runs, you would intentionally lose lives in that that boat section of the first stage. Because the reason being is when you have like 1 life left, the score counter doesn't account for those points. It'll actually make the score count down a lot faster when you have 0 lives on the counter. But now that we have like 2, or technically 3, our score countdown is going to be slightly quicker. But there aren't really any checkpoints. It's basically screen transitions that are the checkpoints. And also in this section, you kind of see like these treasure chests that are just floating around. Sometimes they'll contain stars, or they'll contain like fruits to restore your health. But we don't really need to do that here. Alright, now we're gonna hear Undertaker's gong. And we kind of see like those aliens in the background. We're gonna go ahead and completely miss. Okay, that's cool. There we go. Have to do that stuff all over again. So what I was trying to do there, I was trying to go for a skip, but unfortunately I missed it just a bit. There we go, that's a lot better. We're gonna switch over back to Yakko in this screen here, because we're gonna have to push some blocks. And of course stun Ralph the security guard. There we go. Now we're going to push this block to, block that pressure from going completely down. Okay, a lot of character switching, and there are some like puzzle elements in this game as well. Alright, now we're gonna switch over to Dot here. And once I see that the door is like not completely open, but just getting close to completely open. Also, hello, nurse. That's the only time we'll see her, unfortunately. Also, shout out to Chemical Plant Zone for these stairs here. I need to be wacko for this section. Yeah, because we have to break this stone here. There we go. Get that switch to activate the elevator. Now we're just gonna shoot all the way here. Create a lot of lag. Now we're gonna just kind of stand on this thing here. So for whatever reason, even though we are technically in a hot room, there's a couple of ice creams that are floating around. I kind of wonder, how are ice creams able to survive in this heat? Well, somehow they can.
The same way the cheap sheeps fly in game logic.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. Alrighty, so now we're in our next boss fight. This is kind of like Stage 3 from Donkey Kong Jr. You just have to kind of climb up here. And then we'll meet up with Ralph all the way on the top. So he will pop up a little bit. But we can always just kind of push him back down with our paddle ball. Okay, now we made it to the top. Now we just gotta throw some lights with paddle balls, and that's the stage. Now, coming up next, we have the Western Zone, or Western Stage rather. And it is probably like the most annoying stages in the run. Because there's some RNG involved in this, and there's like a pretty big damage boost that we have to go through that I cannot take a hit like from now until we get to that point. We gotta be careful not to take any damage. Because the damage boost that we're gonna go for is gonna deal 2 damage instead of 1, so we need to have as much health as possible for that. Now we see Mindy buttons, but we'll see them again plenty in this stage. Alright, so we're gonna go for a character switch right here. We need to get this dynamite detonator. Back to Yakko, and okay, even though I took a hit there, luckily it didn't change my state on the top left. We have Flavio and Marita, the dancing hippos. They're creating a ruckus here. Now we're gonna see these rolling barrels. There are 4 barrels per cycle. I'm gonna make it up here, go up and around. And then we're gonna see Mindy buttons again. And don't worry, no child or dog are harmed in the making of this video game. Alright, so now we're gonna switch back to Yakko here for just a moment. Normally we would have to do a block puzzle here, but we can just take a damage boost on those flames. And then, well, we do need to push this block though. If we land on the flames again, we would end up dying. So we skip that entire puzzle section. Now we're gonna see a set of Yoku blocks, in which I missed a cycle here, so I gotta wait a little bit. I can go. There we go. Yeah, shout out to Mega Man with the Yoku blocks, even though they're a lot slower. Alright. And of course they tease us with an extra life there, even though there's like a bed of flames, but we're not gonna fall for that. Alright, now I gotta wake up Mindy. Switch over to Dot here to kiss Solly the God Pigeon again, and then with Wacko, we're gonna see if we can skip this section here. There we go. Otherwise, we would have to go on the bottom and then up and around. It's pretty annoying, to say the least. But we managed to get that skip, so that's pretty nice. And now, we have the first phase of a very annoying boss fight with Ralph, the security guard. We have the pie launching section. And this pie launcher is completely random. No matter which direction you slam this thing, it'll go wherever it wants to, even if you try to like set it to go to a certain direction. So we're just gonna hope and pray that these pies will actually land on Ralph, and we have to hit them 5 times. So there's one. And sometimes these pies can be pretty deceiving. He's throwing pies right back at us too, so we gotta be careful not to get hit here. Yeah, like I'm trying to hit the pie launcher in such a direction, and then now Ralph is just kind of sitting there, just taunting me. That's just brilliant game. That should have hit him clearly, but the game didn't think so. Alright, there's 2. Can we get 3? No, of course not. So yeah, usually like people just kind of hit the pie launcher like really quickly and hope it'll hit Ralph. Because originally what you want to do for this strat in particular, you want to keep this pie launcher to the left. And there is a way to lock it to the left, but once, you know, that cycle has gone past, then it's just, you know, less RNG from there. That pie should have hit him. Alright, Ralph, this has gone long enough, buddy. I need you to eat these pies, please. I'm guessing he doesn't want the pies because he'd rather have donuts a lot more. I think that's probably what it is. Yeah, these pies, like, Ralph is just not having it today. We still need like 2 more hits for this guy too. There it is. Okay, we need one more. Come on, Ralph. Thank you, sir. There we go. Now we can get out of here. But we're not done with the annoying part yet. This is phase 2 of the boss fight. If you want to call it a boss fight. So for this section here, we gotta make sure not to have Ralph land on this train. And the lid on top, that is complete RNG. It'll open and close whenever it wants to. And we want to make sure that we keep this train on the right side. And what we're looking for here is we're looking for Ralph to jump off his little train to try to land on this. And once we know that happened, because this is actually an automated segment, he's going to start running on foot on the train tracks. And then this train will lock on the right side of the screen. Even if he lands on here, we can still kind of brush him off with our mallet. Okay, he jumped off, so we know the automated portion is done. And this should lock up to the right side, like so. We'll just stand right up on here. And then we will see Ralph just kind of trip and fall, and he'll give us the artifact. Alright, so we got one more stage to go until we head into the quote-unquote Wily stage. So now we're heading into the horror movie. The first things we're gonna do, we're gonna switch over to Dot. And we're gonna try to go for a hay bale skip. If this doesn't work, then we're gonna have to do the entire puzzle that we're just passing right now. Alright, we got the hay bale skip, so that's perfect. That saves a bunch of time. And this stage is pretty much all like a bunch of puzzles and such. So once we head into this haunted house, we're going to switch to Wacko. We're going to see if we get some good book RNG here. No, we're going to have to hit that guy. Okay, now we're going to switch over to Dot for the next screen. And we'll just blow a kiss to Dracula. But that's not the end of him though. We're gonna see him again a little later. Time being, we've got some platforming and puzzle solving to do. So coming up, we have a little bit of an automated section. So if you have any donations or anything like that, feel free.
I do, but first I need to say I see Pinky in the Brain and I love this.
Oh, we'll be seeing them plenty.
Excellent. Same thing we do every night. And I'm hoping the same thing that you all do every night is donate to No Kid Hungry, because I did get a donation during one of our scores. We got a $100 donation from Silly Person that says, "Let's go runners, and let's raise some money for No Kid Hungry." I couldn't agree more.
That's awesome. Alright, so for this puzzle segment, we're actually going to drop the blocks as they are, because we're going to open this left door here. And to open the right door, we're going to place them in their proper spots. But we're going to have to push this block just a little bit so we can create a stepping block. I'm going to start off with the triangle, then the circle, and then the square. And then we'll be on our way. Okay, then with Yakko, we'll just go ahead and create our stepping block here. And then this block, we're just going to push it down once and then just kind of go through. Alright, so for this section, there is a faster strat to not use this block, but for safety reasons, we're going to take it with us. And as you can see, there's a skull on that sign. That's because if we go into water, that is automatic death no matter how much health you have. So what we're going to do here, we're going to drain it with this thing. And I'm going to look for a visual cue to continue forward, and then we're forced to grab this extra life. Normally it would be a good thing to get extra lives, but in the speedrun we don't want any of it because of the score countdowns, as I mentioned earlier. Alright, so now we're going to bring this block to here, and we're going to switch over to Wacko. And now we're at the boss fight. And this is probably like the most easiest boss fight. And also, look on the very bottom of the screen, we're gonna see some sneaky guests there. You can see Pinky and the Brain on the bottom there. As for this guy, Dracula, he's gonna appear on the opposite side of where you are, and then we just have to hit the button of which the platform corresponds with. And we gotta do this 7 times. Just drop him on his butt, and then he's gonna give us our artifact. There we go. Alrighty, so we finished the first 4 stages, and now we are heading into our Wily stage, which is called the Edgars, which is the equivalent of the Oscars. And this is probably the hardest stage of the run. There's gonna be a lot of character switching and a lot of close deaths happening, so we'll see what happens here. First things first, we're gonna be wacko for this, because we're gonna be going for a catapult jump in the next screen here. So on this catapult that's coming up, right as I jump, I'm gonna hold down the B button, which is the jump button that I'm using currently, to give me more jump height. Now in this section, we're gonna take damage twice intentionally, just so we don't have to hit the switch to make the elevator go up and down all the time. So we'll just take these 2 hits, no big deal. And coming up next, we have Pinky and the Brain, but we gotta shoot him up to that generator thing up there. Gonna listen for an audio cue. Alright, so that way the electric thingy can blow up a lot sooner. And it may have looked like that I should have gotten hit there, but once the thing blew up, the hitbox completely goes away, so we're completely safe from it. Alright, now we just gotta bring these blocks over here just to kind of, make a pathway for us. And now we got another annoying section, which is the platform climb. And we got Flavio and Marita in the apartment complex here. I'm not sure how they made it up to the top floor. Maybe they have like really strong floors or something, but yeah, I can't even imagine having 2 hippos at the very top floor of an apartment building. But at least we got through that section very clean. That's good. I got this section here. I got the swinging ball and chain from Sonic 1, which we saw like about 2 hours ago. Alright, now we got Wacko here to ignite this bomb, and it's going to bring up a staircase on the top here. Then in this next screen, this can be pretty deadly because it's blowing up on the left side. I'm gonna grab the safety apple. So if you get caught in the explosion there, that's instant death no matter how much health you have. We want to make sure we escape from this section. Alright, open up the doors. We're gonna leave one of these exploding platforms just so we can get on top of it, and then switch back to Yakko here. Now we got the helicopter section, and those shards of glass will deal 2 damage if I get hit by it. We want to be careful and not get hit by that thing. There we go, perfect. Now I got the second to last screen, which is the burning city. Those fireballs are complete RNG, and we will be creating one bit of lag here for this fire hydrant to clear out these flames. It's the only time we do that because we need this block to jump on this platform here. And since my health is pretty low, I'm gonna go ahead and grab the safety chicken. Yeah. Okay, I'll take damage here. Hopefully we don't get hit again. Oh, we got hit again. So that's going to take us back to the beginning of that screen. So we got to do this all over again. So that's how brutal it is to die in this game. Because of no checkpoints. It's just screen transition checkpoints. this stuff all over again. Okay, let's grab this chicken one more time. Okay, hopefully we get some good patterns on these fireballs. That was not good. Hopefully in this section here, maybe. Alright, we're in the clear this time. Alright, I think that's Steven Spielberg on the director's chair there. And we get the Edgar. And now we have a cutscene that's roughly 2 minutes long, and it is unskippable. So even if I push the star button on the controller, it's not going to do anything. So we're just going to see this whole sequence with Pinky in the brain. But if you have anything to mention or talk about, feel free. The floor is yours.
Yeah, well, we are going to do the same thing you've heard me mention before, and the same thing you'll hear me mention again tonight and every night that I'm here hosting, and that, of course, is the SpeedGaming Spring Marathon benefiting No Kid Hungry, a charity with the mission of ending childhood. A charity dedicated to providing meals for children in need, as well as supporting food banks and community groups that serve the areas that need it most. They provide emergency grants and expert guidance to schools and local community groups to help feed kids. Also, if you'd like to get any donations in, !NKH in the chat will get you all the information you need, or you can check out our Twitch profile, or just directly go to speedgaming.org/NoKidHungry and get your donations in and try and make me read tongue twisters or anything like that. I'm down for it.
Yeah, I actually remembered when you were hosting during Sky's run in Pokemon Stadium. Like, that was quite the tongue twister you had.
Oh, the tongue twisters, the Pokemon puns. There was a lot. There was a lot.
It was great. I loved it. All right, we're getting close to the end of the cutscene here, and of course with Brain going like, "Pinky, are you pondering what I'm pondering?" You know, something like that. And we're gonna be facing off against this weird contraption that Brain created, not Pinky. I mean, Pinky's pretty dumb to create things, but fight like this Frankenstein-looking thing. And the way to do this boss fight is you need to start off with Dot first. And the reason being is you want to blow a kiss to Pinky, so that way when Pinky's throwing bombs, he doesn't light it up. Because we need to use those unlit bombs to push it towards the boss itself. And then so we used Yakko to push the bomb, and then we switched to Wacko to light it up, and then it'll explode. So we gotta do that in that particular order for both of these phases here. Right away, switch to Dot. Then we're gonna wait for a bomb to show up. It'll come up right about here. There we go. Switch to Yakko. There we go. Gotta wait for Pinky to throw another bomb. There we go. Oh, whoops, that bomb went right over me. Okay, this should be the end of phase 1. So now phase 2, the body's gonna break up. So now the legs are gonna be kind of on its own with no control, and the top half is just gonna be stuck dormant on the top or the right side there. And also the legs can also damage the top half by kicking it. But right now we don't have the legs in a good spot for the kicks, so. Oh dear. I think we have one more hit remaining. Here we go. And now the boss is gonna blow up. We just gotta wait for this sequence to happen. And then once everything blows up, the artifacts are gonna fly out, and time is gonna happen when we grab the last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, time. There we go. And that is Animaniacs on the Sega Genesis, the easy percent. So the reason why we play it on easy is because the boss's health is actually a lot less. And the higher the difficulty, the more health the boss is going to have. But everything else is practically the same, like the hits and whatnot. Also, another difference is the amount of lives that you start off with in the other difficulties. But yeah, that's Animaniacs. I hope you all enjoy the run as well as enjoyed my entire block for Speed Gaming. I want to give a huge thank you to the whole Speed Gaming crew for having me on and putting on this amazing marathon together. But yeah, stick around for the rest of the runs that are happening. And that is all for me. So take care, everybody.